Hello, everybody. Today we are going to discuss our next literature chapter, A Poison Tree. It's a poem composed by Sir William Blake. William Blake was a poet and a painter who was born in Soho in London in 1757. He is an important figure of the Romantic Age. As well as painting, Blake also made books of his poems which he illustrated. One of his most famous works is a book called Songs of Innocence and Experience. William Blake worked to bring out a change both in the social order and in the minds of men, though in his lifetime his work was largely neglected or you can say dismissed. He is now considered one of the leading lights of English poetry, and his works has only grown in popularity. A Poison Tree is one of the famous work of William Blake. It was published in 1794 as part of his Songs of Experience collection. A Poison Tree is a poem about anger and, most importantly, some of the destructive consequences that can result when we cultivate our anger. With the help of this poem, poet here want to give us a lesson that if you hold on to your anger and nourish it, it will grow and hurt someone. In the case of this poem, it hurts an enemy, but in other case, it can hurt the person who is angry too. The poem is an extended metaphor in which anger is described as a tree. William Blake's A Poison Tree basically uses two symbols here, an apple and a tree, to relate its meaning. The tree represents the growing anger in the speaker's heart against his enemy, and the apple represents the fruit of that anger and action in the poem murder. Here, in this poem, a growing plant is the symbol of life. The growing anger of a person is compared to a growing plant. In the same way, night is here the symbolism of evil. As you can see, the act of stealing done by the person committed at the night time when the person steals the apple from the garden. Let's start the explanation of the poem The Poison Tree line by line. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath. My wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow. Here, the poet is not only expressing his anger towards his friend as well as his foe in this stanza, but he has also depicted the difference between two types of anger with friend and with foe. He states that when you are angry with your friend, you convince your heart to forgive him, even though you are hurt and you know that he did injustice to you. You try your best to forget the past and end the feeling of revenge in your heart because the person is your friend. On the other hand, when you are angry with an enemy, it takes ages for you to claim your anger. Yet the anger and the feeling of revenge do not diminish, even with time. In fact, the revenge simply grows. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears, and I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. The poet is making a confession here that he is the only one who is responsible for the hatred that has grown in his heart for his enemy. It is he who has increased the revenge in his heart. He has nurtured the hatred with his fear. As you can see here, the poet is explaining, and I watered it in fear. That means the poet's anger grew just like a tree. He treated his anger just like a tree, a plant, and he nourished his anger tree with anger, suspicion, and hatred. Though he was suspicious of his foe and he was angry with him, but he tricked him to bring him closer to him. How outwardly he smiled and he was friendly to gain his trust, but actually he gave his anger tree sunshine in the form of smile and cunning tricks. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and I knew that it was mine. In this stanza, the poet states that it is because of his dwelling in the same hatred that it has grown every day. The hatred gave birth to an apple. Apple, the fruit signifies the evil that has taken birth in the heart of the poet. He states that he has now come to a point from where he can't turn back and forget about his enemy until he does something to soothe his revenge. Now, finally, the day comes when the poet's enemy has met the evil fruit of revenge, the fruit of apple that he has grown with his fears, tears, and irony, sarcasm. The fruit has now turned into a weapon. When the enemy confirms that with this anger, it is time for the weapon to serve the purpose that it has been made of. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pool. In the morning, glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. Now, in this last stanza, we can see that the poet here states that the very next morning, when the poet wakes up and enjoys the beauty of his garden, he sees something that relaxes his mind and calms his revenge forever. The darkness of the night acted like an invisible cloak for the poet. Now, it is a beautiful morning for the poet. Why? Because here in the garden, his enemy dead under the tree of his hatred. How? The enemy bit the poisoned apple of his revenge. That means the enemy is now murdered. He is now no more, and the poet has taken his revenge. So, my dear students, at the end, I want to tell you that anger is one of the most aggressive emotions that we all possess as human. In a poison tree, the poet has clearly stated about his anger and feeling of revenge in his heart. What we find that he has forgiven his friend, but he hasn't forgive his enemy for the wrongs that has done by his enemy and the hurt he has caused to him. He remembers every little thing that he has wrongly done to put him down and hurt him terribly. And at the end, he murders his enemy and gets back his peace of mind. So, my dear student, at last, I want to say that this poem gives us a lesson that we should not nurse our anger towards other, because it will not only harm others but it is also harmful for ourselves. So, forgiveness is the best revenge, and we should always think about it. Thank you and have a nice day.